Oh boy. What's going on there, YouTube? This is SEO0320.
What's up, everybody? It's Joe Johnson, 030.
So, as y'all can kind of tell, we're a little silent. We're not like hyped up, you know. It's been some crazy episodes. It's been 2 crazy episodes.
Because we've been binging. We're kind of tired too.
Yeah. We got one more episode left, and that's the season finale. And that's it. One of the best series I've seen in quite a while. Great storytelling, great acting, great action. The episode that we just saw was insane, but what we're going to talk about is the episode before that. So, the episode before that, do you remember what happened, Joe? Some kind of like, we're fleshing through so much, and it's like...
So that episode, you get to see the aftermath of everything that transpired between
Foggy and Matt.
What's her name?
Fisk, his girl.
Yeah, what's her
getting
name?
poisoned. I forget.
I knew it. Anyway, her and then Fish's assistant.
Yeah.
So
it's just so much that happens.
It's so much that happened, man, and I'm trying to like make sense of like everything. So guys, we'll go by the play by play. So Fish's assistant, gets the call from Fish's mother.
Mm-hmm.
And in the previous episode, Karen and what's his name?
Foggy?
Nah.
Yurik?
Yurik.
Ben Yurik.
So, they visited. They actually went to the retirement home where Fish's mother was. So and she actually told them exactly everything that happened between Fish growing up, the murder of Fish's father, smoking gun. Yeah. So she calls Fish's assistant that night while they were at the hospital, and when he gets the call, he goes out by himself to pretty much confront Karen.
Yeah.
Because Fish's mother identified her, and immediately he goes out and confronts her. Mm-hmm. He actually kidnaps her, abducts her, and then they're sitting across from this table, and he doesn't necessarily want to kill her.
He's kind of convincing her to do something else.
Yeah, he's trying to pretty much essentially blackmail her.
Yeah.
And somehow or another she gets his gun and ends up killing him. So at this point in the game, Fish, he's calling him and he's not picking up.
Oh, that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, he's not picking up. And also, there's one point in the episode where his woman, his lady was not responsive. So he's actually in this moment where he has no one to really trust. That's really the meat and the bulk of what happened in that episode. Foggy and Matt are still butting heads, not even speaking to one another. And that's a very interesting thing to even to watch.
Yeah.
And Karen, she's dealing with the fear and the guilt of actually killing. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
The name of the episode was "The Path of the Righteous." I thought that was pretty interesting because there's a point where basically where Matt just kind of like he goes back to the priest, and he's still so bummed and upset with himself for what's going on with his relationship, with his life, and I think he had kind of identified with the priest. He's like, why would God make me this way with this demon or this devil within me, and the priest kind of convinced him like it's not a representation of what's internal, it's the fact that you might have angels within you, not necessarily demons, and it's a righteousness, it's a righteous level of anger versus a carnal minded nature of anger, and it's totally different things. But he basically convinces him that this can be used as a symbol, so to speak. And so he goes and decides to take up what Claire had said to him, because Claire had met in the beginning of the episode, and she was kind of talking to him, and she really loves him. but she knows he's never going to change. And at the same time, I think she would stay with him, but he feels like he has to distance himself from everybody. So basically, she kind of leaves him. And it's so interesting because, like, she is the one that kind of convinced him, like, you need to get more body armor. So he goes and realizes that when he went in his altercation with Fisk, that Fisk has Kevlar suits, you know. And so he goes to the person that's been making these suits for him, and they get into a confrontation. And the dude is beating him up pretty bad. And you find out he's got a mental illness, and he's got somebody he loves that Fisk has been threatening. And he kind of, like, Matt plays to his humanity side and talks to him like, well, what can I do, you know? And it's really interesting what ends up coming up from that fight and what's going to become eventually, I think, the suit. And the other thing that I think that's interesting, it shows like Wesley has different colors. Like, he's got the color of gray and white, but then he's got a lot of red and a lot of black. Like, he's trying to do everything he can to keep and stabilize Fisk. And Fisk, if he lost Wesley and he lost his girl, he would be the person that we know as Kingpin forever. And at this point, like, his girl's life is in danger and he can't talk to his friends. Me and Joe were like, man, he's about to lose it, like, totally. But I like the build up for this episode. There's a lot of stuff that happens, but the climax was definitely when Karen pulled the trigger. And I think Wesley didn't estimate her doing something like that, but she's been so corrupted and messed up from being in New York that every person that she's touching, she's ruining, essentially. And it's funny, since the beginning of the episode, like, her hands were bloody. You know what I'm saying? And now she's actually doing it. And she's having now, in the next episode, all these different kind of visions and stuff like that of what she's been doing. She gets visited by Fisk in her mind. Anyway, the episode that we're talking about, The Path of Righteous, I give it like a 9 out of 10. I really liked it. What do you give it as far as a number? Yeah. If whatever happens, if our thing cuts out, it's only because the battery is low. So we're gonna try to be as quick as we can about this episode. The next one. The next one is named The Ones We Leave Behind. And I mean, Wesley got killed. Fisk is upset. Matt and Karen and Foggy, they're still separated. Like, Foggy, he's been sleeping with his ex-girlfriend. He's been dealing with stuff. Matt is kind of slowly getting to the ring of getting back into the game as being Daredevil again. But Karen is disintegrating. Like, she's falling victim to substance abuse. Eventually, she joked around getting into other things, like even more than that. And so I was like, man, she's about to be pitfalling. And she keeps on putting pressure on Uric to go and write the story because she's afraid, she's scared. And he's like, I got other leads going. Like, I don't need to shotgun it. And there's a point where he goes and just really kind of confronts his boss. Like, look, why is it that I've not been printing the things? Like, how much is your soul worth, essentially? Has Fisk been buying you off? And it's such a climactic moment that it's scary to believe that, like, man, the guy that Yurik's been working for is with that. Because him even saying something like that in front of the public or mentioning Fisk's name, nobody makes it out alive with that. And it was so funny because he went back to his wife and talked to her. And he basically is like, well, I kind of quit and stuff. I'm like, good, you don't need him. Go and do what you know you're supposed to do, you know? And she, even though she's dealing with Alzheimer's, she's the one influence and the consistency that he needs. But now, Fisk has nothing to lose because he lost his conscience, which was Wesley. Now all he has is his heart, and he's going to do anything he can to protect that. And his heart that represents this girl, she's wicked. Like, she's like, look, make everybody pay. She just came out of coma and just talked to them, make everybody pay. And there are lives that are lost in this episode. I mean, if our view camera cuts out right now, I'll end it in saying that there's a life that's lost in this one. And it really, I was attached to the character and I'm really saddened by it. It was really messed up because the circumstances were, they didn't need to happen. And I kind of blame Karen for some of the stuff that happened. And even Matt, because he's dealing with his own emotional stuff. But I think the team's going to come full circle. They're all going to get back together, but this loss of this life, it's in my opinion, there's going to be hell to pay. And it's all gone full circle from this season finale that we're about to watch. And I mean, that's all I have to say about it. Like, it's a 10 out of 10